Good day, everyone. Willie here at Good Old Wanna Go Fishing. Hey, today we've got something special happening, which is something I've been meaning to get to for quite some time. I just haven't had the chance to because of things and stuff and so forth and so on. I just haven't had the time. Now, this is something that's been on my mind for quite a while because every time I open one of the drawers over there and see this particular reel, I go, man, I really need to fix that. But that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make an attempt to fix this thing, even though it's not something that is a part replacement or that type of thing. This is going to be it's going to be butchering more than anything, and I'm hoping that I don't break the darn thing. But anyway, what we're talking about today is, anybody who knows me knows that the Spincast model reels, definitely, I'm a huge fan. Two companies that have always came to mind, and something that I've always used, has always been either the Abumatics by Abu Garcia or the Johnson model lines with the Century and the Citation, or the Model 80, that type of thing. This particular reel came along later in my days because the first one I ever really messed with was an Abumatic 120. This reel right here. Now, not this exact reel, but this was a model of a reel that my mother borrowed from a family member or something like that. As I remember anyway, and I spent a lot of time using one of these after the Zebcos, and I really enjoy using these reels. They're very cool, the way that they work, let's say the drag system. The drag system is a kickback system on the crank here to get your drag set or released. It's very easy to take apart. You have a switch on the side that you flip that it will allow you to take the spool out, and it's just a very cool, easy, well thought out reel. Now, another reel that I used after that, which came later on down the line, is the 170, the Abumatic 170. I had one very similar to this back in the day that gave me a lot of trouble. And it gave me a lot of trouble for a lot of reasons that were not the reel's fault. More mine, more the owner before me than me, it. And what I mean by that is it was used in salt water a lot. It wasn't cleaned out well. The line was way too big, way too thick. And so I, not knowing, didn't give it a lot of credit for being that great a reel. But it was only because I didn't know what I was doing. The person that owned it before me didn't know what he was doing. And it just wound up getting a bad rap because of people who were uneducated in the Abumatic world. So what we're going to do today, we're going to try to fix this guy. One of the problems that this reel has, this is the drag button here. If you can see, the drag button that is a press fit. It is flat on two sides and rounded on two sides, and it fits on that screw end right there, that little bushing. And it has, just through the years of being drag tightened, drag loosened, it has come apart. It's come loose, and it just won't stay up there. It's constantly falling off of that little bushing. There's no real way to fix that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this out to my grandfather's vise, possibly my grandfather's anvil, and we are going to lightly massage the square sides to this piece, pushing it down, making it extend inward just the littlest bit, and then press it back onto that bushing, hoping that it will stay for the rest of its life and entirety in my collection and anyone else's collection who may end up with it later on down the line. But the first thing we got to do is take it apart, which is nothing to it. You take that screw out right there, you undo counterclockwise the drag button, and it all comes off right in your hands. So we're going to try to do that. I don't know if I'm going to show you that or not. I don't think you really care one way or the other. Maybe you do. Maybe y'all have one of these that's doing the same thing. I don't know. But what I'm about to do may not work. Just saying. Might end up having to buy a whole new button. I'm sure somebody's got one somewhere. But anyway, we're going to try to fix that thing. I really hope I can. So I'm going to take it apart here real quick. I'm just going to show you. It's just this screw here. You just kind of, you got to hold it because it's reverse thread, okay? That screw is a reverse thread. To get it to come off, you screw it clockwise to come off. Totally opposite of the righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. This is righty-loosey, lefty-tighty. It's funny, all the things I mess up when I say I got that right. Anyway, there it is coming off of there. You just, now that goes counterclockwise to come off, like normal. And as you can see, the bushing has come loose from the drag star. It's got square ends that slide over that bushing. So I am going to make an attempt to hammer with a punch, just a basic old punch, and see if I can get that to stick out just a little bit further on each end so I can press it back onto that bushing. Don't know if it's going to work or not, but I can see there's an indention on one side where it's been moved on many occasions, which is most of the reason why it's moving around. This particular reel has seen some use. I found this one in a thrift store, and it was not pretty. It was not pretty. It didn't even work, as a matter of fact. Press the button, nothing would happen. It was all stuck and gummed up and everything. Fortunately, it hadn't been salt water used, but it was just the oil and grease and stuff that had been in it for 10,470 years, and you know, it's a relic. It's a relic, man. What do you want? It was old. So anyway, I'm gonna take this out to the old anvil maybe and take a punch and we're gonna go back on that thing right there and see if we can't get it to work. Did it work? No, it didn't work. Was it the greatest repair ever in the world? No, it wasn't, because it didn't work. What we ended up having to do, well, let me tell you what happened. It's just that the hole has, as we say here, wallered out so badly that there's no way to get it to actually stay in there. It is squared up still enough that it still reacts and works as a drag button, but I tried to hammer the outer edges. It's aluminum, okay? And to kind of crush it inward a little bit more, but every time you would push the bushing back into it, it would just break the aluminum out. So before it completely destroyed it, I just had to Gorilla Glue it. So we're going to let that dry, put it back on the reel, and make sure it does what it's supposed to do. Either way, it'll still work. Just not quite like I want it to. So in the meantime, I will be probably looking around trying to find another Abumatic, another 170, even if it's a junkier one for parts, or a good one. But anyway, either way, we're going to get this thing put back together again. I'm going to let this dry so it doesn't get the drag stuck in one position, and take this thing fishing. What's happening, everybody? Today has been, the last 2 days have been, today is Sunday, yesterday was Saturday, and which normally happens before Sunday, and you're not going to believe this, but tomorrow, Monday, will happen. Anyway, the reason that we're here, I wanted to get out today on the old monkey, and I wanted to go to the old flea market. Why has everything got to be old? But I did anyway. I went to the flea market. It was supposed to be sunny and beautiful and rain the entire way over here. I am actually starting to dry out now. It's quite moist. Everything around me is wet. But anyway, I went to the flea market. I said, what am I going to find at the flea market today? Who knows? I want to find something. And I was going to let, do the recorded drive and all that. But you've seen me go to the flea market 5,272 times. This would have been 5,273. You don't care about that. You care about what I found. Let me show you what I found. Now, I don't know anything about this. And I don't generally buy old rods. But this thing is called a Bristol, or it's made by Bristol. It is a octagon metal telescopic fishing rod. Look at that. Now, I don't generally buy fishing rods because rods break, but I couldn't resist. The guy wanted $10 for it. I said, would you take 7? He said yes. I bought it. Little cork handle. It's all metal other than the cork handle. I'm going to look it up and see more about it. It seems to be a split metal base here, And I'm not sure about the inner parts. It worked, everything moved. Now it's a little hard to pull. The eyelets and stuff are in great shape. They're soldered, actually soldered to these pieces. But I said, you know what? This is just too cool to leave here. And this is something I'd probably hang on the wall. It looks like it used to be burgundy. Well, some of it, most of it's still burgundy. Some of it's been, paint's been knocked off. Might be something worth painting one day or something. The cork handle is not in the greatest shape in the world, but fortunately I brought a reel, the Abumatic 170. We got it working. It works. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Now, is it really made for this type of rod? No. I guess it could, though. We're going to put this stuff together, and we're going to do some old school stuff. Just going to throw a bobber and some of these little baits that I have on there, and we're going to take this thing fishing. This is, you know, this is yesteryear's version of travel rod. Let's get this thing put together and get the casting over there before the next rain shower comes. And it will. I can guarantee it. It'll be strong enough. This thing, oh my gosh, Elusiville Slugger's not this heavy. Anyway, let's get this thing extended here. I say, let's get this. It looks copper. I'm going to clean it up when I get home, and we'll make it a lot easier to move. Usually I clean stuff up out here, but I don't have a way to do this. I do have oil, though. Gosh, this is going to be a trip, is what this is going to be. Let me get this thing set up, and I'll get back with y'all in just a second. Okay, let's go allow this thing to catch a fish. I am. This is just going to be cool, is all I can tell you. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way so I can get this camera. We got a monster. And the Bristol catches a red ear. Look at that. I need a picture of this. Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Red Ear. Let's catch a couple more. The only thing I'm noticing, though, is how easy it is to get tangled up in everything around here. It really should be like this. And it should be with a spinning reel. But because I want to go old, the other reel that I have is new, and I don't want to use that. I wanted everything to be old. Man, the old Bristol 19 whatever's telescopic rod is just, it's putting in the time today. I tell you what, when you're fishing with a rod that weighs about 12 pounds and you catch, you know, 1/3 of a pound bluegill, it makes it seem like things are really happening. I can see why they used them back then. I want to get y'all in here and get a view, your view, my view of the view to which I'm viewing, so you can see how things are. This thing is just like, whee! So, just in case you're ever wondering, and you're using these little, don't ever put the little cup up on top of something that's not stable, because it will fall off. So I have to stay here all day now till I use every one of these. I can guarantee you that this rod was never going to get used again. And where I found it in the flea market, behind a counter against, kind of in a corner, had a tarp over top of it. I could see it barely sticking out of the bottom. The guy said that he forgot that he had it. I asked him, I said, hey, well, since you forgot you had it, it doesn't really mean that you need to charge me for it. But he did anyway. He did only want $10 for it though, originally. All right, Bob. Oh, already? Come on. Goodness gracious, how did he get all 4 of them? Like some kind of Marvel superhero fish or something out there. Let's see if we can catch this smartmouth. Smartmouth. That's a fish, isn't it? There we go. We got out a little further now. Now with a normal rod, I can cast this thing really far. The Abumatic 170 really will put a move on a casting a 1/16 ounce jig, or even the hula popper. But with this crazy whipping stick I got here, that thing, oh, come on, keep on going. There's no way that fish got all my bait again. There's no way. This has never happened. My God, what are they doing? How are they doing this? I'm not going to a smaller hook. I've been catching all this stuff. I don't need a smaller hook. I just need to figure out what kind of talented daggone fish that is out there. At this point, I'm hoping somebody has looked up what this Bristol rod is, what time frame, because I have not. Man, one of them things came off. Maybe that's what the problem is. I'm actually not. That didn't go nowhere. And there it goes. And I jerked it out of his mouth. And we're tangled up. And probably have no bait again. We don't. And again, I am not using this rod correctly. It should be this way, as best I can tell anyway. Let's see what happens. We can try it like this. Oh, well, I launched her further, but more to the left than I wanted to be, but that's okay. There could be fish on the left. There it goes. And I missed him again. There's no way. What is this fish? What is this fish? What is this fish? It's got to be the same fish. It cannot be a different fish. We're like Coyote and Roadrunner now. This is getting a little bit ridiculous. Okay, let's try it upside down again. Again, that's a little further to the left than I wanted to go, but there, got my release point right. That's where I wanted it. I mean, there's fish. That fish is right there, and he's getting ready to get hooked. He is going to come in this time. I am tired of losing bait to this fish. Come on. Oh, we're bobbing. Come on. Again, what in the world is going on here, people? Someone got my bait again. What is this fish? Daggone David Blaine fish. Look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the bait off that hook without getting hooked. Just watch. No, really, just watch. Just watch. Are you watching? Just watch. That was my impersonation of the David Blaine fish, just in case you're wondering. Try it now, DB. Go on. Now. Don't be scared. There's no hook inside that bait. No, you're not all of a sudden going to go at Mach 1 from the water to the bank. Not you. Not David Blaine fish. The Houdini halibut. Come on. No, really. It's all right. Give it a shot. Don't assess the situation. Just give it a tug. Come on. Come on. I have got to get hooked up with an electric bike company. Because, I mean, I'm the bicycle dude. I am the bicycling fisherman. I mean, y'all know that. Somebody call one of these bicycle companies and tell them, hey, man, there's this guy. He could probably soup up one of your fishing bikes or one of your bikes for fishing. And my goodness, the bikes that you would probably sell. Come on, Houdini fish. Oh, come on. I see you, Houdini. You're moving something there. Somebody is. Come on. Don't bail out now. Don't be scared. It's catch and release. What has happened here? He must be full. I mean, he did that to me like 6 times, and that's 4 baits, and 6 times 4 is 6 times 4 is 20. 6 times 4 is 12, and another 12. That's 24. No. What is 6 times 4? It's 24. I was thinking 8 times 3, which is also 24, I think. I kind of like casting it this way, even though it's making me feel like I've never been fishing in my life. Once we catch David Blaine fish, it's lunchtime. I'm out of here. This rod is just, it's fun, but I really would like to use a spinning reel on it like I think is supposed to be on it. The cleaning ladies are having a good time. We're going back to this one cabin like 4 times now. Might have to give them an alcohol test or something. Excuse me, ladies, do you know how fast you were going? No. 7. It's 5 in the campground, ladies. 5. Just don't let this happen again. Oh. We got David Blaine fish. Look at that rod tip. Oh, he's trying to figure some magical thing to get loose now. No. There's no getting loose now. We're taking you off the air. Oh my goodness, that's a big crappie. That's what the David Blaine fish was. He's a crappie. The David Blaine fish is a crappie. Sneaky rascals. That's the first time I think I've ever caught a crappie on these crappie bites. Look at that. Well, DB, I'm sorry. Maybe nobody was watching and you can go back to the water and perform your magic tricks some other time. But as of this point, never give up, never surrender. I caught you. All right. We've been recording for quite some time to get all of this footage. You would be surprised. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this gizmo apart. And, well, I really don't have to do that. I can show you right now with the rod, the reel and everything on it. I can see that it looks like the cork handle can be replaced, which that's pretty cool, to be honest with you, because I think I'm going to do that. But it's Bristol, yeah, just like Bristol Motor Speedway, or, you know, Bristol, Virginia, or whatever. But you look at it there. Now this was pretty fun. This is definitely not something that I would do on a regular basis by any means. But when I saw this poor thing sitting in the corner in the flea market, I said, you know what? That is just weird enough that I want to try it. And it was right on the border there. And hey, we were catching fish with it. So just goes to show you, if you got $7 in your pocket and you're up at the flea market and you find something odd off the wall that, you know, maybe the guy doesn't know how much it's worth, maybe it's not worth anything. Who knows? I haven't looked it up. I literally don't know what year it is. Maybe by the time that I've edited this, by the time I've edited, like I'm going to do it. That would be Evan. So maybe while Evan is editing, I can figure out how old this thing really is. It's octagonal, it's made by Bristol, it is telescopic, and it looks to be about 6.5, 7 foot long. Taking a guess. Anyway, I'm going to pack up and get out of here because it is right now so hot, humid, muggy, and nasty that the ride home is probably going to be wonderful. Providing it doesn't rain again. But anyway, hey, thank you guys for watching. I very much appreciate it. This was a very sporadic, off the wall, last minute kind of thing. But anyway, regardless,
thank you guys for watching. I very much appreciate you. I'm gonna load that monkey back up, figure out how to load it up with all the new stuff that I have, and head on back to the house and kick back with the family until they have to leave again for volleyball. Thank you guys. We'll see you on the next one, whatever the next one may be. Oh, breeze. That feels nice. Goes great with the sweat beads running down my back.